Good evening. I'm John Carter, and I'm seeking the Republican nomination for the United States House of Representatives from District 1. I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force, honorably discharged, and a graduate of East Carolina University. My wife and I reside in Wilson County with our 7 children in the same house that I grew up in. I am a constitutionalist conservative. That is a term I learned the last couple of days from Michelle Bachmann. I'm a constitutionalist in the fact that I believe in our Constitution. I believe in strict adherence by our government to our Constitution. In writing our Declaration of Independence and our Constitution, our founding fathers argued and fought over individual words. They scrutinized every single word that went into our Constitution to convey a clear and precise meaning, not to be vague and misinterpreted. I am a conservative in that I believe in shrinking government, not in growing government. I believe in the rights and the responsibilities of the individual, not in the power of government. And I believe in common sense solutions to the problems we face. I am not a career politician. I'm an average guy that has been affected by this economy the same way so many others have been. I believe in tax cuts for everyone to help jumpstart our economy. However, our economy will not recover until those that have lost jobs can find new jobs and can return to work. Our government has tried TARP and 2 other stimulus packages to jumpstart the economy, and they have failed. Excuse me. Congress is about to attempt a 3rd stimulus package, and it too will fail because government does not create jobs. The private sector creates jobs. I will turn to small business to help with job creation. I have a plan for our economic recovery. I want to waive all federal taxes on small business and the self-employed for a period of at least 2 years, and longer if I can get it through Congress. The longest we can get through. It's my belief small business owners will take most of those funds and will reinvest it in their business and will grow their business and will create jobs. I include the self-employed in this because self-employment is risky even in a good economy. So in today's economy, I want the self-employed to have every chance to succeed. Now, my plan also includes eliminating the capital gains tax. This will promote buying and selling, and buying and selling are what drive our economy. And if we could do these 2 things, government can get out of the way and sit back and watch our economy take off. In order for this to happen, however, we must elect conservatives. And there is very good evidence that that is exactly what is going to happen in this election. The other side is going to argue that we can't afford tax cuts and we cannot afford to pay for my plan. John F. Kennedy, Ronald Reagan, and George W. Bush, all 3 sought and obtained significant tax cuts for the American people. In doing so, government revenue increased. It did not decrease. Tax cuts work, and tax cuts work for everybody. As people return to work, government revenue will increase and government dependency will decrease. We can't afford not to do this, and our children and grandchildren cannot afford for our government to continue on its current spending spree. And my plan will eliminate the need for any further government giveaways disguised as stimulus plans, thus eliminating hundreds of billions and now trillions of dollars in current spending. I also believe all spending bills should be voted on as separate legislation, not attached to or hidden inside of other bills. This will expose and eliminate pork barrel spending, saving an additional hundreds of billions of dollars in current spending. My wife and I run our household on a tight budget. She has finally taught me there are some things that I have to do without. I cannot have everything I want. It's time for government to learn that same lesson. I'm making 3 promises that I fully expect to be held accountable to. I will vote against any legislation that increases the tax burden on the American people. I do not care how good a bill may be otherwise. If it raises any existing tax or creates any new tax, to me it becomes a bad bill, and I will not support that bill. I will vote against any congressional pay raises. And it's my understanding that Congress has now made their pay raises Yearly, it's automatic every year. I'm not sure how they can do that. That violates the 27th Amendment of our Constitution, which states that any variance in pay cannot take effect until after an election of representatives has been held. That's every 2 years, not every year. I will fight that one as well. I will fight any further attempts by this administration or any other to take over any more of our private sector, especially health care. And this is where I really need my notes, or I will go off on a tangent. This bill is not even about health care. This bill is about growing government. It is about expanding government's power and exercising and forcing that power over the rest of us against the will of the people. It is about government seizing control of 1/6 of our economy. It is about government taking just a little bit more of our freedom away from us and putting it in their hands. Have not reached the point yet. Benjamin Franklin was asked at the end of the Constitutional Convention, "What have you wrought?" His response, "A republic, if you can keep it." Barack Hussein, that is his name, Barack Hussein Obama, intends to fundamentally transform America. I intend to stop him. Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, and G.K. Butterfield have been happy to help him with that. This is the very issue we are faced with today. Our republic is in danger. Can we keep it? If we allow this to stand, if we allow them to systematically dismantle our nation, then our republic is lost. I will not allow that to happen. Our children and grandchildren will know the same great nation that we have known. I will use any and all means available to make sure that happens. This is not the end. This fight has just begun. When I entered the Air Force 24 years ago, I took an oath to protect and defend our nation and her Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Our nation was attacked by terrorists. Our republic is being attacked by domestic enemies. Ronald Reagan warned us 20-some years ago when he said, if we lose freedom here, it's over. There is nowhere to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. We cannot allow that to happen. I will fight to the end. I look forward to meeting Barack Hussein Obama and looking him in the eyes and telling him, I will sit here to stop you. I will protect freedom and preserve our future, and that's why I'm running. Yes, sir.
Chuck Wiley from Littleton, North Carolina. You said things about taxes and debt. What's your feeling about a flat tax?
I support a flat tax. I think it's the only fair way to do it. And then the more I think about it,
How would you go about getting it done?
Well, one, it's going to take a conservative Congress to do it. It's going to take people in Congress to feel the same way. And I make the assumption that with the current president, that is going to be vetoed. So we either have to be able to override a veto, or it's going to take a new president as well to do it. Some of the figures I've seen on it, seen anywhere from 10 to 15% would be a sufficient amount to at least maintain the level where we are. I contend that it would probably not take as much because, as I mentioned earlier, and as we all know, as you reduce taxes, government revenue increases because people are free to have the money in their pocket to do what they choose to do with it. So I do support it. I do not think it should take any more than a 10 to 15% tax. And I tell some people, God does his work with 10%. Why does the government need 30 or 35%?
There you go.